You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice Sody, Maurice Sody.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. It's the Black and Sturdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
All right, and we are back.
From outer space.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, it's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. It's not an extremely late hour, so I'm also very excited.
Mm-hmm.
The Dipset Locks Versus was this week, so I'm extra excited.
You have that New York energy pumping
Pumping
through your veins.
me. And yeah, I mean, I'm just glad for the weekend to be over, or for the week to be over and the weekend to be starting.
Yeah.
How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. You know what? I'm so chilled out and relaxed right now that it just dawned on me. Didn't even introduce ourselves, which is fine because, yeah, it's okay.
Well, hi, I'm Odie.
And I'm Maurice, and this is another episode of the
Black and Sturdy podcast.
Another one.
That's right. That's right. I got new drops.
Yes, it is. Take a shot, everyone, please. Thank you.
Oh, is now that? Wait, time out. I thought they were taking shots every time I said I need a new drop.
Oh, I thought every time you mentioned drop was when.
Oh, I'm gonna kill people if it's just any time I mention a drop. Ugh. No. Let's at least try to wrangle it into just anytime I say that I need. Why don't I have a drop for that?
Okay, so when you mention that you're gonna make a drop or you want to make a drop, that will be the drinking portion of the time.
There we go. But
right.
But until then,
another one.
Just a new drop that I'm using.
Oh, great.
You want to hit the teal one?
Sure.
If you know, you know.
Wait. Hold on.
If you know, you know, and that's all I'll say.
Stop. What is it now? I can't. Now I don't know what it is.
Well, you know, you can look it up on a commercial break.
No, I know what it is, but now it flew out of my head because you were cackling the whole time.
Because
you kept distracting me.
Look, I'm sure you know what it is. I know what it is. I'm sure our listeners know what it is.
If it wasn't going to be ridiculous, I would have to keep clicking it so I could hear it until I can get it. But I'm not going to do that because that's not how the real world works.
That is not how the real world works.
So I will just have to think about it, and while some point in the show, if you put it, it'll probably come up to me, and I'll blurt it out.
And listeners, I want you, when you hear this, I want you guys to tweet specifically at Odie that you know what it is, and how is it that you don't know what it is.
I do know what it is.
I want you to tweet the answer.
I'm blanking. I'm just having a really bad, my ADHD ate it. That's it.
Well, it's okay. Well, I'll give you some time to think in the middle of us discussing pop culture. I did the actual miming of diving.
He did. Can't wait for people to be able to see this, what it looks like.
Exactly.
While we're sitting here. All right. So, do you want to go with the good news first, the weird news first, the Black excellence first, or the update on the baby?
How about we get the baby out of the way?
Okay.
Let's get the baby out of the way, okay?
Sure.
Let's get the update on the baby.
Okay, thank you. No more does out of you.
Oh, no, there's going to be a bunch more does. But anyhow, what's going on with him?
Okay, so you remember how last time we talked about him, he was like, he basically was telling people not to, if they don't have HIV or AIDS, to put their hands up, or an STD, put their hands up, and if they aren't sucking dick in the car, if they're not guys who are sucking dick in the cars. But it was just a bunch of bullshit. So we talked about that.
Yeah, I remember that call and response, by the way. He's been going around in interviews, and his initial apology, like on Instagram, he was like, it was a call to action. No, da baby, it's called a call and response. When you say something and you expect the audience to say something, call and response. See, I'm teaching him.
You are he asked for to be taught. So, so we talked about that. So now, basically, after he has been let go from his like 10,000th festival headliner gig, the most recent ones were Lollapalooza, which actually happened like a few hours before he was supposed to go on, which was pretty funny.
Wow.
Governor's Ball, Day in Vegas, and like a few others. There's so many. They just keep dropping like flies.
I think at one point, like Questlove dropped him from something.
It wasn't even a real thing. It was like an imaginary, because someone had asked him. Excuse me. Whoa. Sorry. Somebody had asked him. I feel like it's not even real. Like, I feel like somebody had asked him, who would you want to have on your festival if you could make one? Because, that's what he does, like in the summertime.
Yeah.
And he had, I think, a few people. Maybe Meg Thee Stallion was on there. And he had the baby on there.
Mm-hmm.
But after all of his foolishness, he reposted that. He crossed the baby off of it. Like, we don't do this type of bullshit. You're too old to be saying stuff like this. And so that was when he was like, I don't know who Questlove is.
Yo, first and foremost, how bad do you have to fuck up to get like
Questlove
booted?
To say something?
First off, because Questlove is such like a peace-loving and friendly dude. Like, so for him to like just disown you and scratch you off of his imaginary festival, you really have had to fuck up real bad.
Yeah. You know what? They've been making a lot of memes about this, and one that I really loved was the Catalina wine mixer that he was being kicked off of that. That one was really funny, and one about like the youth service, and there was one about the Parkers. That was spring bling. That was funny. They were good. They were good ones. And I wish that we could like holographically show you, because you never can explain a meme in a way that makes sense and sounds funny. But Google it. Google it. Or go on Twitter. But anyway, so since then he has issued an apology, and I'm going to read a little portion of it that allegedly he wrote, and not his press person. I want to apologize to the LGBTQ plus community for the hurtful and triggering comments I made. Again, I apologize for my misinformed comments about HIV/AIDS, and I knew education on this is important. With love to all. God bless. He wrote that on Monday.
So that's I think that's the second apology, right?
This is the second one.
Okay, because
the first one was
not really.
I mean, neither of them have really been apologies, and it just, to me, is just like, you know what this reminds me of? Recently, Governor Hutchinson in Alabama was like, I wish I never put the mask mandate, signing a mask ban mandate in my for the local places in Alabama, because the people in Alabama are dropping like flies from COVID, and he's now saying, damn, I shouldn't have done that because look how bad it's affecting us.
Wait, he had a mask ban, as in like banning people who weren't wearing masks, or banning mask wearing?
No,
period?
it wasn't a ban on mask wearing, but it was saying that like local people could basically, local communities could decide whether they have the mask. I'll put it in the show notes. You guys can read it.
Okay.
Because it was a few months ago.
Yeah.
But he's just been going on this apology tour because so many people in Alabama at this point have been getting sick, and this Delta variant, the Delta Plus.
Yeah.
All
the
other
Loki variant running around.
Right? It's just like we have a lot going on, and now you have all these Republican governors who were telling their people not to get vaccinated, not to wear a mask, not to do all this stuff, and they're really getting hit, and people are getting angry and upset because it looks like more and more like we're going to go back into lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, I mean, people are only going to blame the ones who are we're not telling them to do the right thing in the first place, hopefully. So it just reminds me of that. Like, now you're trying to do this fake apology when you were doubling down the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, and somebody brought this up, like there was like maybe a 48-hour period after he said the statement where like he could have legitimately either like apologized or double back, like, hey, look, I'm sorry, like it's something like that. But in that period, he doubled the fuck down.
Yeah.
And so now all of this, like, you know, like iPhone notes, like apologies that are being written with squiggly lines and shit like that, like or by some intern and stuff like that, it rings kind of false. And it's only happening because all of his he fucked up the bag. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing that's annoying. It's like you don't care. A lot of these people do not care what they do or what they say, how it impacts the larger majority until it starts to possibly mess up their bank account. The baby doesn't care about what he says and how false and horrible it is, that he could be targeting marginalized group of people that have done nothing to him and support him, and also just sounding ignorant about it. But now it's like, oh, people are not going to be paying for me to insult them. Oh man, you know, it's idiotic. But 11 HIV, I found another article that said 11 HIV and AIDS organizations have written an open letter to him, giving him the information he so requested, much like you. They're giving him education and guidance. And I'm not going to read it, but it just says, you know, miseducation about HIV and AIDS and the impact it has on the community is very dangerous. And that 2021 marks the 40th year of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, and the greatest obstacles in our work to end HIV are the compounded stigmas attached to anti-blackness, living with HIV, misogyny, and anti-LGBTQ attitudes and stereotypes, all of which are fueled by misinformation. So I hope that I feel like this is not just a DaBaby thing. I think everyone really should take in, be mindful. Because I know growing up, and like I said, I think I mentioned last time, one of my aunts, she passed away from AIDS.
That's right.
And even though knowing she had it, I feel like there were times that I would say things or think things that were insensitive too. And so I think like as I got older and started to hear what I was saying more, like, or what I would be thinking and be like, wait, like I have to check myself on that, because that just does not sound, it just doesn't sound nice, you know, to think that or say that about someone.
Yeah.
And, you know, then changing my mind. And then as, of course, you get older, and then you start getting introduced to more people who are possibly going to give you more information about things. You know, it's like the reason why there are a lot more people who know about like the slur against gypsies, right? So that you have people that you don't say that. Oh, you hear someone say it, it's a very...
Oh, that word. Okay. Yeah.
That means like you're stealing from someone.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's something that is extreme. Everyone's literally, since we're little kids, it's in everything. You hear it, you say it all the time.
Yeah, they literally said it during the
They
verses.
did say it during the verses. Because it's literally a part of our vernacular,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because that's not something that most people, due to the lack of representation of gypsies and Romani people in the United States, we don't get. Only thing we're getting is maybe hearing that word and it being trickled down. But now you have people knowing that it's a slur, telling people as they go along. And I actually, a few years ago, got in an argument with someone because they were trying to tell me that like that word was not high on the like bad word list.
Racially insensitive word
Yeah.
list.
It was like, oh, that's not something I need to. And there was a black person too. It was a black guy, and he was like, I'm not really that. There's like they're not really many of them anyway. Like, so it's not really impacting like that big of an impact. And I was like, regardless,
No, I'm not going down that road.
There's no oppression Olympics that we're playing. If something is a negative word, it doesn't matter how many people are around here in this country who would be negatively impacted. It just means that I don't need to say it because I don't need to be in my vocabulary, because I don't ever know where I might be and who I might offend if I'm saying something that's negative, which is why I stopped using the term African. Because even though the term I had been taught that term was just meant someone who was Black American and African, or African and whatever else.
I thought it used to mean like an interracial child.
No, so like that's half caste. So half caste means interracial. But I did learn that African is in Africa, people take that as similar to half caste. And I would never say that I was half, well, one, if I would be wrong if I said I was half caste. But that's such a outdated and like problematic term.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, even though African, to me, I was like, oh, this is a great way to describe what I am, versus just saying Black, which, I mean, I love saying Black, 'cause I am. But it was like, oh, there's a different way of saying it. It just sounds cool. So I'm going to say I'm African. But that, because of the negative implications, it's like, no, I don't want to use that word.
Yeah. When you know better, you do better. That's just a part of growing up and getting older, you know?
And honestly, it took me a long time to start thinking about African in that way. Because one of my friends who's Nigerian, she would tell me, and I'd be like, but I don't really see it that way because that's not how it came to me. And then I started thinking, no, I'm meeting more Nigerians and more of them, or not even Nigerians, more Africans who have heard this term, but they're hearing it in X way. So I can retire it.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone should just do that. Think about how I mean, it's not our fault that in school, like when they taught us about STDs or STIs, the way that we were taught was very fear-based, especially if you were in a parochial school. At least I would say a lot of things were fear-based, and if you weren't sinning, you wouldn't have done this. So there's not a lot of times people getting accurate information about what STIs are, how they work, XYZ. So maybe just go pick up a pamphlet, go to Planned Parenthood website. You can learn all this information and you won't be spreading disinformation, because all of that is very important. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
And just releasing the stigma that we have about so many things. I literally feel like all of our life we were taught to have some negative stigma about something that is every day, like people being homeless or being unhoused, someone having been incarcerated, someone, you didn't go to school, you dress a certain way. Like, there's so many ways that people have been taught to judge someone negatively, that we just need to move past that, because regardless of what someone has going on, they are still 100% a viable human being. Like, there's nothing about anybody that, except for them being an asshole, that's the only thing that makes you less of like a person to want to be around.
Yeah.
So I just think we have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, but like, this is a perfect moment to, I was going to do a bit, but no, this is a perfect opportunity for people to get information, to learn the truth, and to be the best versions of themselves. And just, don't be like the baby, Don't fuck up the money, don't fuck up the bag. Like, just don't say ignorant shit. And if somebody tells you that some shit that you just said was some ignorant shit, maybe shut the fuck up and listen.
Say thank you very much.
Thank you very much for teaching me, instead of like getting defensive, like, oh, I'm still learning out here. Like, just it's okay to be quiet and listen. It's okay to make mistakes and then learn from those mistakes. Okay, and then you just move forward accordingly. So what else we got? All
right, so now on to good news.
Yes.
So finally, you're going to be very happy about this. On August 20th, Aaliyah's albums, a handful of Aaliyah's albums, will be made available on Spotify.
Ooh.
So on April 20th, it's going to be...
Why do I not have...
a list of where your things are?
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep
on
going.
April 20th is 1 in a Million, that album. Now, this is the weird thing. They're not doing it all at once. So it's going to be like a rollout. Like 820 is 1 in a million, 910, and I'm just saying the month and the the date.
Mm.
Is the Aaliyah album, which I'm very excited for. 10/8 is I Care For You, and ultimate Aaliyah compilation albums, which definitely.
That's my favorite Aaliyah album, the one that has I Care For You.
I mean,
on it.
I Care For You is my favorite Aaliyah song.
Thank you. High five.
I mean,
Yes. This is what I wanted to use earlier, but
I Care For You, I feel like the emotions, there was so much about it. It was one, when I would sing that song, I thought of my crush at the time.
Oh,
I did, and it was.
Little Odie had a little crush. Oh, that's adorable. No, I'm serious. That's adorable.
Thank
It's
you.
gold if you want to fucking push it. I said gold.
That's gold right there.
That's more orange, but
Oh,
this is gold.
okay,
Anyhow,
thank you.
continue.
No, I had this crush on one of my best friends, and he at the time had a girlfriend, but like they were just high school toxic, not like bad toxic, but just like arguing a lot. It wasn't like what I felt like he deserved.
Melodramatic.
It was very melodramatic, and so I used to sit when that song came on. I would just sing it with every ounce of just heart breaking love for him, of this unrequited love, and just being like, "Hey, pretty baby, how's your girl leave you in pain?" I'm not gonna go into singing because
Yeah,
I will just.
to let a fine man like you go.
She must be insane. All right. Because I'll be just being ridiculous. So, but that's my favorite song by her, and I cannot wait till I literally can play it 1,000 times a day, like I wanted to back then. But we didn't have rewind; we had the radio.
Yeah, I honestly am just grateful that we're getting more Aaliyah songs because, like, just the fact that for the longest nothing was available anywhere or like it just wasn't available on Spotify, and I just thank goodness that like, well, one, I can't, the only stuff that would be available are the songs that showed up on soundtracks or I think some of her earlier work, but those are the ones that R. Kelly wrote, so they're all tainted for me. I can't go back and I can't listen to them. Thank goodness that the one Aaliyah song was on the Next Friday soundtrack. God damn it, I'm blanking on it. Oh boy, this is.
I know which one you're
shameful.
thinking of, but I can't remember. Like I'm trying to grab it out of my head, but
Be Without You.
I don't wanna be without you. Okay.
I don't wanna be alone. And notice I will never use an Aaliyah song as that little buffer thing that I usually do, because just all of her lyrics, all of her songs just touch me in such a way. It hits me right in the soul. You know what I mean? I don't even know how spiritual I am, but I definitely like know that I have a soul because like it tingles every time I hear an Aaliyah song. And now we're gonna they're doing a rollout just like how Netflix did all of those black shows like last year.
Yeah.
You know, it was like sister, and a week later it was like one-on-one.
So I found this article on Blavity, and it says that her uncle, who's the one that is like the conservator of her estate,
His name Barry Jenkins or some shit like
Barry Hankerson.
that. Hankerson.
Yeah.
Right.
So he said he's landed a partnership with Empire, an independent Bay Area based music company that will make the entire catalog, consisting of 17 albums by artists, including Aaliyah and Timbaland, blah, 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 available both physical and digital form for the first time in a decade. And on Wednesday, they took to social media to address what they call unauthorized projects. Protecting Aaliyah's legacy is and will always be our focus. For 20 years, we have battled behind the scenes, enduring shadowy tactics of deception with unauthorized projects targeted to tarnish. The statement read, "We have always been confused as to why there is such a tenacity in causing more pain alongside what we already have to cope with for the rest of our lives. Now, in the 20th year, this unscrupulous endeavor to release Aaliyah's music without any transparency or full accounting to the estate compels our heart to express a word, forgiveness. The statement continued, adding that the only thing they asked for is closure and peace. So
That's a long way to say that her executor just was trying to figure out how big of a bag he can bank off of this catalog.
Yeah.
And just like knowing that everybody still loves Aaliyah and still wants to hear her, and just driving up the demand so high that they could finally release it on Spotify too. Big deal. But hey.
I feel like I would have to
We're
I have
still
to
getting it.
find it, but I feel like someone said another reason why he did not want to put the money out was because whoever Blackground was owned by,
Mm-hmm.
I have been hearing things about that person taking allegedly like those artists because Tony Braxton is one of those artists who, when they make their songs are streamed,
Mm-hmm.
and JoJo, when their songs are streamed, that person is making the money, not the artist. So I feel like that possibly is also a part of it, where it's both we're not going to really make as much money. He's going to make money from it because he is whoever that guy is that owns Blackground is the owner, owns the masters of these songs. And then also just like wanting to also secure another bag. But I mean, at this point, I'm just grateful we're gonna get the music because I love Aaliyah and I cannot wait. I want to listen to Aaliyah music from I used to feel like I was a grown up listening to that, but I want to hear it as a grown up.
Can I tell you the roller coaster I went on? Because like they played Rock the Boat ad nauseum, right? But Rock the Boat came out before she passed away, right?
Rock the Boat was the last song.
They played
It came out before she played that. She went to make the music video for that.
Right.
That's when she passed, but it was already out. We were already listening to it.
Yeah, we were already listening to it, and like the roller coaster of like, this is a great song, to all right, now they're playing it too much. I'm so sick. Like my aunties are playing Rock the Boat, to then when she passed was just like, I can't listen to this song because it makes me sad. This song that's supposed to be just like sensual feels and stuff. So just like a whirlwind of feelings just surrounded by that one song. That's that power. That's that power that she had.
She was only 22 when she died.
Oh, man. And oh, my God. Did you hear the recent thing that's going to be in some book that's coming out about
that
her?
allegedly she was asleep. She had taken a sleeping pill. Well, I mean, honestly, I feel that's great because whatever way that she could have had the most peaceful way of leaving this earth is what I hope for. Because I remember when it first came out, but that she passed, and they said that her body, like she was like scrunched up in the seat. And my thought when that happened was that she was afraid. And it was like, but to me, it's like maybe like that's how she slept. I would be much happier for that because it's just like, we all fly in planes. And I don't know about anybody else, but I have anxiety a little bit. Even though I'm not a bad flyer, I do still have lots of intrusive thoughts when I'm flying about what could happen.
Which is the strangest thing to hear from somebody who literally your ass is always on a plane.
That's what I'm saying. Like
everywhere.
I still have those like anxiety about it. I just am able to, I guess, handle it. It's not like something that has made me ever like not want to fly, except for when I'm flying back from California, because the way the Rocky Mountains are set up, it's really horrendous. But
it's rocky.
It is. But oh gosh. But anyway, but when I'm in the plane and I think about like, oh, what would happen if X, and it's like one of those things that like I try to always watch a movie or something so I don't think about those things. But I would hope that she just was sitting in her private jet, scrunched up in her seat, taking a nap, and went off to sleep and woke up in the other side, on the other side, and wasn't worried about the noise or the yelling, because I know that it allegedly happened very quickly. And to me, like, the fear that you have when you have turbulence, like, if it got more than that, like, I can't even, I've never had that sort of fear before in my life.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what it feels like, but I wouldn't want such a fate for her. So I'm
Wow.
happy that possibly came out. I might read that book. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might.
Well, either way, I'm just excited for her music to be available, and I can't wait.
Me too. Let's see. Okay, now let's do the weird.
Okay, what's this weirdness?
So Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, alongside my bae, Jake Gyllenhaal, but now maybe ex-bae, because apparently none of them are really washing themselves and or their children.
What do you mean they're not washing?
Well, this is what Jake Gyllenhaal said. Because apparently he was doing an interview for Cologne, and they asked him a question about hygiene or like how much he showers or whatever. He said, more and more I find bathing to be less necessary. At times, I do think that there's a whole world of not bathing that is also really helpful for skin maintenance, and we naturally clean ourselves. I would like to know what type of starfish he is, or snake, because I don't. Only thing on the
What do you mean we naturally clean
the
ourselves?
only thing
I'm not
that
licking.
naturally cleans itself is the vagina.
I have questions. Anyhow, but moving forward from that, wait, is that true?
Yes, that's why you're not supposed to use like douching and all these different soaps and things, like a mild warm water and a light, very, but it's like a natural, it's a self-cleaning oven.
Yeah, because
you know, it's
shedding of the uterine walls, right?
No, just general.
I mean, it does shed.
Yeah, once a month, but I'm talking about on a general basis. You don't need to. Not to say you're not supposed to wash your vagina. You should be washing it.
Everybody should be washing their bodies.
You're always supposed to be washing your body, but I'm saying the soap that you use on your regular body, you're not going to use it on your vagina because it's going to be that's very harsh. You're not supposed to be douching. You're not supposed to be using all these St. Ives and chemical things. Just a mild soap, warm luke water, even sometimes, using a rag might be too rough. You have to be able to clean. I'm talking about the inside. The outside, use your rag. The inside, you can use your fingertips. And soap, because it's very delicate. And you don't need to be putting all this stuff. You're messing up your pH balance down there, which is going to impact its self-cleaningness.
And one day, when we actually have time, I'm going to tell you the story of how I discovered the reverse is also true. Like you just said that you're not supposed to use soap on your vagina.
Mm-hmm.
I am one day going to tell you the story about how I found out that you're not supposed to use vagina soap as regular soap.
Oh, God. Looking forward to it. Okay.
But all right, so these rich white people are not...
Yeah, and then Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher said they only clean their kids when they look dirty or start to stink or something like that.
That's all. Have you ever seen a child? All the fucking time they look dirty and look like they can...
What you gonna do?
Nope. We're not doing that.
I don't understand it.
This is just like a few years ago when nobody was washing their legs.
But this is literally a yearly thing. We are constantly getting why? Not even who, why? Just like the baby. Why are you asking these random stupid questions on stage when you could just been like, hey, Miami, how you doing? Why are we talking about our bathing hygiene? Like, what is the question?
Yeah, how is this coming up? Like, what?
I literally have never decided. No, I'm telling you right now, I literally have never gone through an interview and said, what can I ask this person? Oh, yeah. How often do they bathe? Is this for a bathing? Unless I'm doing an interview for a bath soap, bubble bath, new shower handle sort of thing. Maybe there's a study on. If there was a study on how much you have to bathe, sure, I'm going to be asking. But then why would I be asking Mike? Why would I be asking Jake Gyllenhaal about this shower study? When I could go ask an expert.
I think it's the reverse. I think it's that, I don't even know if it's reverse or not. I think that's the problem. If people are asking you questions that lead you to discuss your hygiene regimen, I think they're hinting at the fact that you stink. I think that's what it is.
Somebody on Twitter said this is why whenever people say they met a celebrity and they mention how they stink, and this is probably why because they don't want people coming up to them. And I'm like, that could be why. But I honestly, like, I'm not going to say that when I'm at my house, summertime during this panorama. So if I'm here by myself, I'm just sitting here. I might be like, damn, Odie, you smell like the great out fucking doors. You haven't gone outside at all. But what you just been sitting here smelling yourself. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I need to take a shower. I got to do that. Now, sometimes, if I'm feeling depressed or whatever like that, that's going to impact the showering. But I feel like sometimes when I'm depressed, usually not showering is not usually one of the ways that comes out. I'll usually probably be more likely laying on the bottom of the floor of the bathtub with water coming down me. So I actually probably am cleaner.
Well, I mean, unless you're not using soap, in which case
I feel like whenever I get into the tub,
pulling a Taylor Swift and just letting the water run down.
It's like, but I feel like that was a completely like unwarranted. Like, she started this conversation. Why again, Taylor Swift? Again?
I think you're onto something. I think it's these celebrities who don't want anyone to come near them that are just like, yeah, I don't bathe. My legs are the filthiest from my hair. Like, don't touch me.
I don't know. I just feel like, please, everyone, listen. Before you leave your house to go talk to people, if you're not going to be going anywhere, if you're just sitting in your house, you're not doing anything, go. I don't care what you do in your own home.
Wash your body. Wash that ass.
No, but I'm saying when they're at home, I don't care what you're doing there. But before you go to interact with everyone else in the wild, wash your ass.
Well, if you're also going to invite people over, you should probably wash your ass too.
That's too. But at least if my friend invites me over and they haven't showered, I could be like, hey, are you going to shower while I'm here? Because you're kind of ripe right now. And if they're not a friend that I could say that to, like if we're not close like that, then why am I at your house anyway? It's a panorama. So I can't imagine me going to someone's house and they're stinking, but I would be like, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? Because this isn't like you.
So let that be a lesson to everybody. These celebrities are depressed. They don't want to be touched and everything. But when it comes to them, like, legitimately trying to convince us that, like, it's actually better to not shower and that we don't wash our things, and miss me with that bullshit. Nope.
I just want to know what this self-cleaning deal is, because honestly, I want to get it. I want to check in on that one because I really need it.
I've gone like during the purgatory. I think like the most was like 4 days without like actually like showering, and by day 2, I just smelled. Like, I knew that like I was the source of the stank in that room.
Sometimes when you stinking, when you like, you kind of forget that you smell, and then maybe you raise your arm and you're like, woof.
Yeah, it just hits you right there. It hits. You know what it is for me? Sometimes it hits me in the eyes.
Yeah,
it's just like it like stings just.
Do you
little
know
bit.
that's why like I am so like.
What are we doing? What are we talking?
We're talking about these people. Okay, people are wanting to wash themselves, and I'm gonna say only time in my life that I actively didn't wash myself. Sometimes was when I was a kid, like middle school, where in the summertime I would literally, better. But no, in the summertime I would literally try to like see how long I could go without taking a bad shower because I wanted to see how much I smelled. It was like a science experiment.
I used to do that, but with sleep, like to try.
I do that too.
Stay up as long as possible without having to go to sleep.
I feel like the longest I went for like 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
3 days. No
I
naps.
feel like I just like no naps. Or just like But anyway, I just feel like everyone wash your hands, wash your whole body. Please use a soap. Use a rag. Get yourself. Go to the H Mart and get yourself those gloves. They're really great. Wash them every few weeks. Get more than once. You could have one every week, and you could just keep washing it. Change your towels. Change your pillowcases. Change your sheets. Like we're coming out of this panorama with a whole new set of rules and regulations for what you may not know it before, but you know it now. Because we were talking about it, we're having an open dialogue, an open discussion, and just same way we had to tell people to wash your meat,
Wash your sheets, wash your meat.
Exactly. All your meats. The
Yes.
meats in and around and inside of you.
Yes, we are all living meat. So like
just wash it.
Wash it. Just
Wash your meat.
wash it. Just wash
Just wash it. Wash it. All right,
what else
let's
do we
see.
got?
Do we have anything else? Oh, okay. This is some good news that we're going to end on.
Mm-hmm.
Some Black excellence over here from Auntie Angela Bassett.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it.
No, go for it.
She has gotten a new deal for her show, the Fox drama 911, making $450,000 in episodes. It marks the highest salary a Black woman has ever made on broadcast television.
See, told you I'd get fanfare drops.
Thank you very much. But can we have the one that goes?
Well, now we will because we got that clean from you. Oh, yes. Where do you think that nope came from? That's me.
Oh, I love how industrious we are.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. So, no, I mean, you know what I mean. That's me. That's me saying that.
No, I got that. That's why I said I love how industrious we are.
And now we're about to get some fanfare. There we go.
Yay.
Yeah, but that's fantastic to shout out to Angela Bassett.
But someone on Twitter made a good point. You know Chandra Wilson, who's been on Grey's Anatomy since literally 1990, whenever it came on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it's not her because she's been on that show forever. I
Isn't
know it has a
she-
larger cast, but I feel like she should be a very highly paid actress.
On the show itself, is she a doctor? She's a doctor, right?
First of all, Dr. Miranda Bailey is the chief.
I don't know. You could look at me with those eyes, but I'm telling you right now, I don't know anything about Grey's Anatomy. I have not watched. I think I tried to watch it once. It just wasn't for me. I'm not saying there's anything bad about the show. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea before all of the Grey Anatomy heads out there just like start coming for my throat. I'm not saying anything bad. It just wasn't
the
for
fact
me, so
that
I
you
don't
even
know.
had to say, is she a doctor?
I don't know.
Is she a doctor?
It could be a scrub situation where she's a registered nurse. I don't know. I don't know.
I can't even. No.
Oh, girl.
She's a doctor.
Oh, girl on
She's a
Scrubs
doctor.
was a registered nurse or a nurse.
She is a doctor.
Okay.
She's one of the best doctors that Grey's Anatomy has ever seen.
Okay.
Anyway, we're very happy and excited. It says that this is believed to be among the top salaries on network television for any actor, male or female, and could be the highest ever for an actress of color on a broadcast drama series. So, very happy about that. I feel like, she definitely needs that. Oh, shoot.
What?
I just seen I have one more pop culture breaking news.
Breaking news. Hold on. Wait a minute. Breaking news? I don't have anything for that. Fuck.
Do the fanfare.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Deadline says, the Orville is finally heading towards season 3.
It's about. Did we ever finish season 2?
No, we have a few more episodes. Remember, because I was like, I don't want to finish it because I'm going to be sad and I don't know when it's going to come back. But it says the Seth MacFarlane sci-fi drama, which moved from Fox to Hulu in 2019 for its 3rd season, was hit by the pandemic, disrupting production, meaning fans were in a pretty long wait for second season premiered after the second season premiered in 2018. However, Jordan Hellman, head of scripted originals at Hulu, has provided an update on progress. He said that he's been seeing cuts of the show coming in and is hopeful of a premiere sooner rather than later. This past year and a half has been complicated on a variety of levels as it pertains to production. I can't share a launch date, but we're really excited about what we've seen thus far. All right. That means that we're getting something soon. I'm going to feel like I'm going to be ready to watch more Orville shortly.
And you know what? I give you all the credit for putting me on to the Orville. I absolutely enjoy watching it. It's up there as far as like favorites,
Yeah, I definitely like it, and it's like, I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars, even though there's a big rivalry between the two. I love them both. But I definitely...
They've both been ruined by J.J. Abrams. Oh! shots fired.
We need to get. That's where we need the Fat Joe. That's what we need, the Fat Joe ones.
Yeah, we do.
But I'm just like, I love the way that it goes. I feel like it's like such a funny version of Star Trek, and even though it's like parody-ish, it's still like the times when they're supposed to be serious, it's actually serious.
Yeah,
it's not like just a bunch of buffoonery all the time.
Yeah, you would think that, like, because it's Seth MacFarlane, you would think, oh, it's just a bunch of dick jokes in space, but it's actually no. It's just a sort of like it's
I feel like it's
Star
sometimes
Trek.
more realistic version of like how a space. If we went to space kind of right now ish in the next, like, say in the next 100 years, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like Americans are no longer going to be still watching and listening to the music and stuff we're listening to now. And we're still going to be pretty, sarcastic and silly and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's a part of our culture.
Yeah.
And so I definitely could see like this show is being a part of like, okay, it's 400 years in the future. I could still just see it, and then having even more access, because if we're gonna be in a digital world now, that means all the things that we do and say, like, they're gonna have access to it. So it definitely feels like a more like realistic than just Star Trek. It's like Star Trek meets. What's a good one? What's a good funny sci-fi show?
A funny sci-fi show or just a funny show?
Maybe just a funny show.
I'm saying, I don't know if The Office. I don't know. Like,
it does. Yeah, I feel
it
like
has that touch of realism that The Office can have. Yeah,
Star Trek and the Star Trek and The Office.
My favorite episode is the one that deals with the addiction. When like he gets addicted to like the holograms and stuff, and it turns out the root of it was that he never forgave him. It's spoilers. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a really good show. I encourage everybody to watch it. Is there anything else for pop culture?
No, that's all.
All right, well, that has been pop culture. How about we
go on a break? Yes, please.
How about we take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Bye.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
And we are back with more of honestly, these drops will never not bring me joy,
That's good.
Yeah, and the more that like I add to them, the more that like we create them, the more I just feel like, like I'm always gonna have a fun time recording podcasts with you.
Yay! I love that.
Yes.
So we're back. We're going to talk about some things that have been going on inside our brains, inside our bodies. Would you like to get that drop ready?
Yeah.
And so this week we're doing our usual mental health check-in. We are advocates, not experts, and we want to just know what's going on with you, what's going on with your body, what's going on with your brain, how have you been feeling since the last time we talked? Let me know.
Okay. Well, if I'm kicking it off, I've been massively depressed. I actually I don't have the air horn for this.
I did it for you.
Yeah, but no, what I realized is that I had been going through like you know how like okay, because I've been riding on such a high for so long, like I didn't see the signs that I was experiencing depression, like in the past, like I would say week and a half or something. It wasn't until like I just sort of like took a moment to really like take stock within myself and just being like, why am I feeling so blasé and so blah, and like, like things should be good. Things should be feeling good. Like I'm being challenged at work. I'm podcasting. I'm pursuing a passion. Like I have friends and all these other like events happening, moving forward and everything like that. And it was just like, oh no, I'm just in my depression phase. And
It's your blue period.
yes, this is my blue period, and I'm not sure. It you know what it is? Like my blue period hasn't come in months.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been the longest stretch of time that I haven't experienced the blue period. And because it's been such a long stretch of time, like I just kind of didn't really pay attention to the signs that are normally there.
Yeah.
But now that I know, I am using the tools that have been in my disposal to sort of combat it. Let it I accept that it's happening. I ride it out. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend and deny that it's happening, because that just only exacerbates it and makes it worse. The downside is I don't have my usual therapist to help me, because we have transitioned to a different therapist. But the good news is that like I scheduled an appointment with my new therapist, so now that'll be at the beginnings of the weeks instead of at the end of the week.
Oh, that's a nice way to start your week.
Yeah. So admittedly I am depressed. However, I have a number of things that are in place to help me deal with it in a healthy way. And I'm just gonna ride it out.
Well, I love that for you.
Yeah. How about you? How is your Can I ask you a quick question? Did you start this off because you didn't want to hear me say the word journey? Yes, I knew it. I fucking
I'm not going to confirm or deny that.
If you know, you know.
But how has your week been? How have you been doing?
This week's okay. I've been really tired, which is not necessarily that different than most weeks. But I feel like, I don't know, I was having a lot of anxiety at the beginning of the week. It started weighing off a little bit as the week went on, which was pretty good. I feel like it was work related, but I can't really tell. I feel like I'm always I'm generally having stress around work, regardless of what's going on. So I feel like it could be that. But I'm really happy because I just found another therapist that's going to be working with my ADHD specifically.
Yay!
We met once, and we're going to meet again, I think, next week. So we'll see, and I'm very excited because I feel like, I'm ready to start getting over this hump. I mean, I can't get over or get through or get past having ADHD. That's not it. But I can, learn things that are going to be helpful with assisting me to move forward in my life. Whereas now there's so many things I feel like I keep running up against a wall. And it's just very, very frustrating for me. And I'm sick of being frustrated. And my main therapist, we're still going to keep her, and we're going to be working on, other therapy-related stuff. But having someone strictly for the ADHD, I feel like it's going to be really helpful. And then I'm getting my insurance in soon, so that way I can get, medicine, again, because I don't have that right now. So I don't know. I'm grateful, that I'm able to talk to a therapist. Now I have two. And I feel like they're both going to be helping me. This new one is a young Black woman. I'm very excited about, having more Black doctors in my arsenal. And they're going to see if they can help me find a psychiatrist. So hopefully I can find another Black psychiatrist, Black woman psychiatrist. So I'm doing well. Even if I'm having a bit of some struggles, I am still doing well.
I just also forgot to mention that I upped my medication.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's stronger, should last longer throughout the day. And yeah.
Have you started it yet?
Yeah, I today was the first day that I started it.
Do you feel any different?
I did, mainly because I ended my my schedule has been thrown off.
Uh-huh.
A combination of depression and because I have a new roommate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not used to someone else being up early in the morning like I am.
Yeah.
So it has thrown off my schedule. Like literally when I wake up, I normally like shower, take my medication, exercise. Yes, I know I exercise after I take my shower. Oh well. Anyhow,
Was anybody conflicting with you about that?
no, but
Okay.
I could just hear it in my head. But either way,
All right.
anyhow, the most important thing that I'm gonna say right now is that like I've been taking my medication later in the day, or later in the mornings, not in the day, later in the mornings. So like it's been lasting longer. As a matter of fact, I would say that by the time we have been recording this, I could feel it sort of like waning off maybe last hour. So
That's not bad.
yeah, that's really good, all things considered. So yeah, I feel good about it.
Good.
Yeah, and that was our mental health voyage. How about that? Yes, our mental health trek through this week. But gotta be honest with you, not everything is all sweet. Not everything's all nice. It's time for us just venting about the stuff that's annoying us, pissing us off, making us mad, making us angry.
Bring it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
What's pissing you off right now, or what's making you angry?
Okay, well, I have a list of things, and most of them are related to men being ridiculous.
Yeah,
So,
we're garbage.
not all of you.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree, not all of us, but boy, oh boy, enough of us to just be annoying.
Yes. First thing, did you hear about LeVar Burton allegedly being, I guess, pushed aside? Not pushed aside, but the people who are in host for negotiations for Jeopardy. This man named Mike Richards is in advanced negotiations to become permanent host of Jeopardy, right?
Yes, it's a bland piece of milk,
This
yes.
white guy. And
Mhm.
so apparently, according to the Hollywood Reporter,
Mm-hmm.
a Price is Right model won a discrimination lawsuit against this man, and I will tell you when and where, but it looks like she got about $7.7 million. If my computer would go faster. Okay, Brandy Cochran has been awarded more than $7.7 million in
Compensation?
compensatory.
Compensatory.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
And punitive damages over the claims that producers sidelined and harassed her when she became pregnant, and he was that's one of him. And she was a black woman. It was a sexual harassment lawsuit a black woman filed against him on another show for The Price is Right. And so this is pissing me off because I'm like, so you really only put LeVar on there, and he only had 1 week compared to all the other people who had like 2. But you only put him on here to be as like a okay, fine. And if you already had this guy who I believe is an executive producer for the show in the running, like, I don't understand how you would have the response you got from LeVar would not have automatically been this is what you should do. But it's like, you know, if for some reason they do choose him and LeVar is not going to get it, I hope that somebody creates a show for him.
Yeah.
Somewhere that rivals at the same time as Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Similar format and all that.
It should be called Crisis.
That might work. And just have him go from there because, I mean, he would be a great host. I saw clips from when he was doing it. I loved it. And I don't even watch Jeopardy like that unless it's like a little clip online. But I think he would be a great one.
But it just goes to show you that these networks would rather have a potentially problematic white dude. What, you have a perfectly good LeVar Burton right over there.
Yeah.
Instead, just like, oh no, we have Diet Coke at home or some bullshit like that. It's nonsense.
Who else? Oh, what else? Michael Che. It's grinding my fucking gears right now because I don't know if you saw, probably you did, that he had posted in his Instagram stories like, oh, I have so many jokes to say about Simone Biles dropping out and all that. I'm going to go to the Comedy Cellar, which is a place in New York City, and across the country too, to practice jokes. And he wanted to work them out on a crowd, right? Now that was fine. That was all you. If you didn't need to share this about anything with us, but fine, you're gonna do that. Great. Then that's it. But he then was taking responses from people and retweeting them or reposting them on his Instagram stories. And one of them that really stood out to me as gross was talking about her being sexually abused. And I'm like, you could be hateful and annoying and just like whatever. I'm going to say whatever I want because it's a celebrity. Who cares? But I feel like there's still lines you shouldn't cross. And he purposely crossed them over this young black woman who it's like, why are you working so hard to try to bring her down instead of doing what you can to lift her up to your community? Is it because mostly your community is white people? Like, what is it? Like, do you just hate black people so much and black women so much that you do not care how your words could possibly impact them? So that definitely pissed me off, especially when I heard that Simone Biles' aunt died while she was in the Olympics. So it's like she's going through all this stuff already. Even though she came back, she won bronze on the balance beam, like a boss ass bitch that she is.
Yeah, she is.
But I couldn't imagine going through all that, just wanting to relax, and you have to see your name in another headline of somebody else now rooting against you and letting this other person like mock you. It was
like,
so bad.
Come on, like I said it a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna keep saying, like, black men, do fucking better, man. You gotta do better. Like, this country fucking hates white. Yeah, sorry. This country fucking hates black women. Does not support, does not care, and that's a fucking travesty in and of itself. But like, black dudes, come on, we gotta do better. Michael Che, do fucking better, bruh. There's a fucking concept called punching down, and like, come on, like you're supposed to punch up, don't punch down.
Well, when you don't have any creativity, I mean, what? That's it.
And if one of those jokes about turns out the black does crack or something like that, if that was legitimately one of the jokes, this is alleged or whatnot, then that's kind of corny. That's just like low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's do better. Let's do fucking better.
I feel like that might have been it. I talked about the COVID guy and his restrictions. Well, I mean, I'm pissed off that people are not wearing their masks. But that's all I really got. What about you? Anything else that's grinding you?
Mine is, okay, so look, man, this podcast is called Black and Snurdy. I'm a fucking nerd for wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan. I dropped out after a while, but like I came back, and I'm a big fan of just like wrestling. I support AEW, WWE, and the wrestlers therein. Since April, WWE has released 41 wrestlers.
Wow.
Like,
that's a lot of wrestlers.
Including tonight. As we are recording this, 12 wrestlers were let go. Some of which were actually on recorded episodes of NXT this past week. Some that had like storylines. Some, like, all of these men and women are extremely talented individuals, right? And mind you, there's also all sorts of other like backstage like layoffs as well. Yeah. But even still, WWE is a several times over $1 billion company. It's making record profits. With each quarter that goes by, they have like this quarterly thing for stockholders where they talk about the profits and everything like that, and they're making record profits. There's no reason whatsoever for them to be releasing talent, especially when there's a fucking pandemic going around and there's a fucking JetBlue ass variant running around, and we're about to go into like a period where like outdoor stuff is gonna have more restrictions. Things are gonna shut down more and more, and there's gonna be like less and less people who are gonna be coming to these shows or want to be coming to these shows because of health concerns and everything like that. This is not the time to be laying off people.
Yeah.
So, right now, WWE, just a single solitary fuck you. Because it's not just quote unquote business. Like, these are people's lives, man. And there's literally no reason to be letting go of people during a fucking pandemic. They did the same thing last year when the pandemic was like in full swing. They let go of talent, like in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah. So this is 41 between April and now. That's insane to me. Yeah. And so that's pissing me off.
Well, that's rightfully so.
Yeah. I didn't have anything else.
I think those were all mine. I just, everybody be kind to one another.
Do better.
And don't take things so personally. Sometimes most of the time, it's not about you.
Exactly.
All right. Let's move on to our vinyl section.
Yeah, the things that made us happy this week.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
Do you want to go first or should I?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I want to find the guy that sings the Baby Merchant song so that I can be his friend.
I want to, if you could find on IMDb the guy who sings the Baby Merchant song, like, let us know, listeners, and then we could do the legwork from there to get him on the show.
I had a few things that made me happy this week. One, obviously, was the Dipset. Two, I saw a video for
the
Dipset versus Locks.
Just
the Dipset versus Locks versus. Sorry, I'm very tired right now.
Yes.
Also, I saw this video of these passengers in the subway helping this person who had been in a wheelchair who had fell into the tracks.
Aww.
They helped him get up, which was really great. Coco from SWV. She had a long video. Well, it wasn't long. It was like maybe a minute. And she said that she has no problem accepting her son's sexuality. Mm-hmm. She was just waiting for him to tell her because she had, she birthed a baby. Aww. So it was very, very sweet. I love that. And it's like, we shouldn't have to give people cookies when they are not like demanding unworldly things to their, adulterous errand children. But I'm
listening.
You have a face of...
I was following that sentence that you just said. Continue.
It was a weird sentence. I think I was getting very sleepy there.
It's fine.
I don't even really know what I said.
I'm being supportive right now.
Sorry. What was I talking about?
Coco.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell
supportive.
I was... Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. You can cut that out. Anyway, because I don't know what I was saying.
No.
I don't. I honestly could not.
No,
I can't even think back and say what I was talking about. So I think I was like doing one of those things. I do this thing where I'll be talking and I'll also be sleeping at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is a superhero power that I have, but I've been doing it since I was a child.
Take a big guess when we're recording this.
But anyway, I'm grateful for that. And then also, Miss Shirley Caesar from the Beans, Greens, Potatoes, Tomatoes fame, and also all the gospel songs in the world.
Yes.
She is selling her house, and apparently she has a Star Trek and Star Wars like memorabilia out inside the house that's like really dope.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely want to buy this house for $1.5 million in North Carolina if I could.
North Carolina.
It was in Violet. Yeah, I forgot what part, but it was like the main part.
Nice.
Okay, now the piece de la resistance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get you the thing that was really making me happy this week. I'm going to be putting something on the sound, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good thing I didn't turn it off.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for giving me the heads up, by the way.
You're welcome.
Boy, set it up for us. What is this?
So, you know how everyone's trying to get everybody to get vaccinated?
Yes.
Also, another thing that made me happy this week, my mom and my younger sister got their first shots.
Mm-hmm.
So, Pfizer mommies are on the way.
Ooh, Pfizer mommies.
So, this video right here is of a man in Arkansas who's trying to get the people that he serves in his community to get vaccinated.
Okay.
Came to a screeching halt. You have to understand, I'm a hustler. I'm a legit entrepreneur. I sell things. I come in contact with people all the time. I have to stay safe. I didn't have a choice but to trust the vaccine. Because if you live the type of lifestyle that I live, you out here in these streets and you hustling, an entrepreneur like me, why not do it safely? So I want everybody to take this seriously. Take a shot at staying healthy. Get the vaccine.
Now, why is...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Why is this particularly making you happy?
One, because the fact that they paid... I want every black person to secure the bag.
Of course.
But the fact that they had this this street entrepreneur...
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur.
on here, like, legitimately on there, like, I sell things to people every day. And I need to be safe, and that's why I need to do this. I'm like, one, I really hope that a lot of people in your area see this and now think the same. And two, just the audacity of you to have a apparent alleged drug dealer or something that doesn't require you to do tax returns on this commercial to try to get like this demographic to get the vaccine is very interesting. And I went on their Facebook, or it was like a Facebook ad campaign, and I saw some other ones they put out. They put this one out maybe twice. Mm-hmm. The rest of them are like regular like white people. Yeah. But I'm just like, this is a very interesting travel fetish thing. I'm still waiting for someone to want to. What did I say? A travel fetish thing.
Yeah. How is this?
Jesus Christ.
You
it's my
are
brain
tired.
Again. I am.
Is
My
there
brain did
anything
that.
else that's making you happy about this thing? I can take over once you're done.
I don't even what the fuck. And this is the thing that happens. I'll say the thing and then I'll be like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. And then I'll have to look around like, did somebody else also hear me say this nonsense?
I think I only ever want to record late night. Yes.
No.
So I can capture this. This is magic.
This is terrible.
Oh my God.
Because I feel like legitimately I'll be a whole other person for a little bit and not even. It's like I hear it after it comes out of my mouth.
And the funny thing is, like at some point you could just like not talk.
That's true, but the thing is, I don't feel like I don't realize when it's happening that I need to like be quiet. I'll just start randomly like I feel like I'm dozing off, and then I'm like just talking to myself. Anyway, tell me what made you happy this week.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's not what I'm. But as far as what's making me happy, the first thing is personal, right?
Okay.
The thing that's personal is my friend is going out of town and I'm cat sitting. Some extra money coming my way just to cat sit. B, I get the full run of their apartment, so like I'll be staying there. I won't have to stay in my apartment, and just for a time I will be sharing a bathroom with just myself and nobody else.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I get to and C, the very first thing I'm gonna do, take a bath with Epsom salts.
Ooh, I love that.
just get a bath bomb and just
When are you going over there?
So they leave on Sunday. So
Sunday?
starting this
Ooh,
Sunday.
that's a good day to do a bath because it's 8/8, Lionsgate Portal,
Okay, cool.
and the new moon.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then the other thing that's making me happy is because Rihanna is now a billionaire.
She is. I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
When we say eat the rich, do you also mean black people who are that wealthy? And if yes, is it all black people that are that wealthy, or only certain black people who have made their wealth in that way?
I'm gonna go with certain black people. Like, and I'm only going with like, because this is difficult because I root for my people, I root for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real, no one makes $1 billion without stepping on somebody. You know what I mean? Doing some type of unethical shit at some point, right? Mm. So in this case, I would say eat the rich, but don't eat Rihanna. I'll drink a bathwater, but I'm not gonna eat the rich in that regard. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, because just seeing her journey, like starting from nothing. Although there's a whole conversation that I was hoping to have, but we don't have time for it. We can have it another day. The fact that she made her $1 billion, but not through music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation to have, but we can have that at another time. But
right.
But yeah, that's everything that made me happy.
Yay!
And now that's if that's everything, then guess what? That's everything.
We did it.
We did it, and we will be back next time for some more Black and Sturdy podcast. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's ThatSOD_THATSOD.E, and on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.